Oh, I get to hear your actual voice. That is so dynamic to me.
Okay.
Man, and it means so much to me to be able to hear a voice because, one of the things that we learn in being broadcasters is that we speak and we do things in harmony, and we also do things in tune. And so when I get to hear somebody who has released all this music speak with their real voice, it means so much to me.
Okay. Never thought of it about all that, but okay, cool.
But because we all speak in musical notes. Do you not see that?
Right.
Wow.
Sure.
Wow. One of the things that I love about your new music is the fact that you guys take us into an area that I swear that we need to be in because music has changed so much, but you guys are saying, hey, wait a second. Let's don't forget about this.
Yeah, like real musicians playing instruments and recording really live stuff. Yeah, instead of using AI or whatever it is now. I mean, it's gotten so ridiculous and computerized now.
Yeah. I mean, to take a song like White Room, first of all, thank you so much for doing this because I believe that music needs this point in history to happen again. And how you guys have done this song is exactly where we need to be. Great.
It's good to be on time. Not too early or too late. That's yeah, we're just doing what we believe in. I'm glad it's working out. I'm glad.
Did you grow up with the classic rock scene, or how is it that you came into this?
Of course. I mean, I don't want to give away my age. Everybody knows how old I am anyway. But yeah, all that music was new when I was a kid, and man, there was just so much of it. It's so much great creativity and uniqueness. Bands all sounded, and in the classic rock genre and metal too. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you a fun fact. The way I learned about like metal, the first like Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, I didn't know who they were, but I joined the Columbia Record Club and got 12 free albums, right. 12 albums for 99 cents, and I picked out the covers that I thought looked cool, and I ended up with a Deep Purple and a Black Sabbath and a Jethro Tull and a bunch of stuff, and it was all great. And all of a sudden, I was off and running,
Oh my God! But Mark, you didn't do that dun 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 dun. I mean, you make this song White Room so much your song.
Well, that's what you're supposed to do. I think when you remake a song, and you make it your own, and that's what we try to do. We've been playing together for a while, and we're all great friends, and that the vibe is what makes things happen. The chemistry.
Classic rock stations are starting to play the new or the second generation classic rock. This is one of those moments where you fit into that directly. Is radio where you want to be, or is it that you just want to get out there and be wherever you can be at all times?
Well, it's both. Everybody wants to be on the radio.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a radio. I don't know how long it's going to be around now with streaming, but yeah, that's everybody's dream since we were a kid, to be on the radio, and that's always. But we want to be wherever we need to be, and be out there doing it, playing live, and getting our music on every format that's available.
But what's so funny though, Mark, is that what I love about what you guys are doing with your band is the fact that so many fans think that competition is so high, and I think it's probably because when I was a kid and I grew up and it always said so and so played with this record label, this record label, this record label, and I felt like there were boundary lines around that. You guys don't have that right now. It gives you the opportunity to play with whoever you want to play with.
Yeah, there is a freedom to that, of course. And that label thing, it had its good and bad points. I mean, the good points was back when there was labels, they found talent, put money into it, and tried to build on, something with the band. And now there's no chance of anything like that. And also it filtered out, people that weren't that great.
Right.
And it made people be able to discover bands that were great, but that were obscure. So, that was the good part of it. And, the bad part of it, everybody's heard about all the bad part of it. I've been through it.
Yeah.
But it's a different world now.
One of the things that I feel in listening to the music is I feel like you guys were all united in this. Were you in the same studio at the same time?
I wish I could say we were. I mean,
Wow.
we were in spirit, but we weren't. No.
Wow.
No. Actually, the Mike and Bjorn were in the same studio recording the guitar and the bass, and Bjorn recorded the bass. Well, he recorded the drums too. Those guys were more together than I was, even though we're not that far apart. They're all in LA and I'm in Vegas, but we're all doing so many different things. It's hard to get in the studio together, all of us. So,
but I totally understand that, because even when I recorded my last set of music, one of the things that I did was I always made sure that I was in constant contact with the musicians. What did you guys do today? How did you do it? What did you do? What did you lay down? What did you, what happened? Let me know where you were in your mindset.
yeah. No, well, we're tight, and we're never that, as soon as we get together, we're just like we've never been away from each other. So, it's that kind of a band. That's the kind of band that makes great music. So
yeah, one of the things I love about creating music is that it's always in constant evolution. What did you learn on this project? Because we're all students. Every day we're learning new things.
I think going back to basics is the deal with this band, because we're not using a lot of production techniques. It's
Really?
basically raw rock and roll, raw classic rock and roll, guitar, bass, drums, and a vocal. And it kind of reminds me of when Van Halen came out with their first record, and they totally set everybody with the live sound and just a raw sound. That's great stuff. I mean,
Dude, you're speaking my street when you say when Van Halen came out, because I was in Billings, Montana as a kid, in downtown Billings, Montana, on when we were cruising the point is what we used to call it, and Van Halen was all over the place down there. I mean, oh my God, maybe that's my connection to your songs.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it's 6 degrees of separation all over the place.
Oh
yeah.
my God! Because it's supposed to be raw, and I think when I listen to the White Room, maybe that's what I'm picking up on, is that it is raw, but it feels so fresh.
Yeah, that's because nobody's doing it anymore. What's old is new again.
Yeah, because when new rock, first of all, I love the fact that that so many of these bands did with the electronic music. But the thing is that music is music, but rock is rock. There's a difference between electronic music and rock, and you guys really do bring that forward.
Well, I'm really glad that you're picking up on all that stuff. That's awesome.
Wow.
Because we always hope that people will pick up on it, but. Pick up on our vibe. Yeah. That's great.
Are you getting ready for a tour at all?
Well, we're getting ready for a release party / concert. I think August 17th is in LA. And after that, we're trying to get some stuff together for later in the year. But anyway, we're going to do a record release, album release. I don't know if they call it a record anymore. I hope it'll come out on vinyl.
I would love to hear this on vinyl, though. I really would, because what you guys are doing in those songs. The thing is that I like to listen to sound beyond sound, and you didn't super compress this at all.
No, you don't have to. But that's been the thing forever. The volume wars. How loud can you make it?
Oh my God, you took me back to Ted Nugent in 1978. How loud can you make it?
Well, I worked with him briefly in 1984, and I heard his original. When we were rehearsing, they brought out his old guitar rig that he used with when they first came out. It was just the loudest fucking thing I've played with loud guitar players, but that was the loudest.
Wow.
He definitely was the loudest.
How do you deal with that? Because, even AC/DC had to deal with that, because their main guy on lead vocals had to step away from the scene because he lost his hearing. How are you personally healing?
Yeah, it's in-ear monitors, which are just little headphone thingies that fit in your ears, wireless headphones. So I don't have to, I can cut down the volume on stage as much as I want, but I still like to feel the vibrations,
Yep.
So I still like it to be loud, but I save my ears that way.
Wow.
I've been doing that since they first came out in the 90s, actually.
So lucky, dude. So lucky, because when I was a kid in Montana, I mean, we would mic up amp after amp just to get it louder and louder and louder.
Oh, yeah. More is more.
So if you could step out here into the world of music right now, how would you see yourself as a band?
I don't understand that question, really. If I could step out, what do you mean?
In other words, to be a listener. I mean, because you have to be thinking about the listener when you're putting this music together.
Well, you know, when I listen to music, I just listen for a vibe. I mean, I don't know. I think everybody does subconsciously. They either get a vibe or they don't. I think we're putting out a good vibe, a good rock and roll vibe, you know, feel good, back to basics kind of deal.
Totally with you. Totally with you. One of the things as a mobile entertainer that I'm running into is that a lot of listeners are creating Spotify lists. Is that where you want to be? Do you want to be on that Spotify list, or how is it that you want people to find you?
Anywhere is fine. I mean, Spotify is not good for artists. It's good for the CEO of Spotify, who's worth about $3 billion right now. But the money that we get from that is not very good, but the exposure is good. I mean, it's good for people to be able to listen and enjoy the music. I mean, that's really what it's all about.
One of the things that as a fan of music that I'm learning is that it's no longer about the huge arenas. Do you find yourself going into places that are going to be into the smaller venues? And if so, are we going to see you in cities that's going to give us that opportunity?
I would say there's a good chance of that. Yes. I mean, I've been personally, I've been playing small places, big places, everything in between my whole career. So I love all of it. I mean, each one has a different, you know, advantages. The small places are really cool because you really see people's faces, and you're right. You can just get the response right away. You can tell what people are happy with and what people aren't. And when they love what you're doing, you can really feel it. I mean, you feel it in a stadium too, but it's different. That's
so funny you say that, Mark, because we have Amos's Bar here in Charlotte, and Amos's, I mean, Hootie and the Blowfish, I mean, that's where they got their beginning, and it's like it's so up close and personal. You're watching us, we're watching you, and to me, that's the connection right there.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Where can people go to find out more about you, Mark? Because I really want them to really invest in what you're doing. More importantly, I want them to get your merchandise, because merchandise is where it's at these days.
Yeah, well, Soul Sign has a website. I don't know. I should write this stuff down before I talk to you, but it might be soulsign.com or .something. I have a markbowlesmusic.com. is my personal website. I don't have any personal stuff for sale right now, but SoulSign does.
But see, but that's the thing about it is that I can't wait for them to get it, and then when they come to, or you come to their town, that's when you get to, you know, see your actions and reactions inside that audience. That's got to be a dynamic feeling. Yeah,
I mean, it's one of the reasons I started out doing music, and I'm still doing it, because it's what I love. There's nothing else like that.
Is music an addiction? Because I mean, that's one of the things. I created a channel on iHeartRadio called Creativity is the Addiction, and it's just one of those things. I feel like that we are addicted to it and we can't break free of it.
Why would you want to break free of music?
Oh, thank God you said that.
Music
Thank you so much.
Escape. It's not an addiction. Music is an escape from everything bad in the world. You can go wherever you want, and when your mind can wander anywhere you want when you're listening to music, you know. It's a wonderful thing. It's not an addiction.
You are so right about that. Please come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
All right. Thanks. Have a great one.